What up, guys? Dungeons for Dummies again. And this one, it's Spires. Again, these are the routes that I use for my carries on stream. They work from 10s to 20s. It's super easy and effective. Let's get right into it. Alright, for this one here, you can either do this in 3 individual pulls, or 2 or 3. I pull them all 3 together. The first 3-pack, second 3-pack, and the Goliath. I'm always going to make sure, if I'm in a pug, that I'm interrupting the Goliath. That's my top priority. Always interrupt that. The other stuff, if I got an extra shield, I'll hit it, I'll stun it, I'll blinding light it. But unless I have a shaman that I know is going to get every single one, my top priority is that Goliath. Other than that, I keep everything in front of me. I backpedal, keep it nice and tight, and I just make sure that the Goliath is interrupted. If I do have a shaman that can interrupt that every single time, I'm going to interrupt everything else. I'm going to stun it, hammer it, interrupt it, shield it, whatever it takes. Stop all the casts. Alright, this pull right here is pretty simple. I make sure that I interrupt basically anything that's casting here. The mender's going to be obviously pretty high because of the heal. But other than that, I'm interrupting everything that I possibly can. Always. Keep it in front of me. Interrupting, stunning, blinding light, everything. Interrupt machine here. Alright, so when I land here, depending on where our cooldowns are lining up, I normally skip the first Tormentor and I pull the pack here. Again, if you don't have a shaman that you have to make sure that gets every single Goliath, it's you as the tank to make sure that you're getting the first one and call out who you want to get the second one. But other than that, if you got a shaman, interrupt everything else, keep it in front of you, nice and tight, easy. Then once this pack's dead, we're going to go to the Tormentor. If I'm full of melee, sweet. If I got a couple range, I'll have all the range stack in but one. Just because you can bait the fire debuff right there on the right. If you only have one range out. So, as long as one range is out, you're going to bait that fire every single time. This one's pretty easy. Remember, if I'm in a pug, I type in chat, I got first. And whoever I basically pick, right? Because you're the tank. Tell them they got second, and we just flip-flop back and forth. So by now I feel like a lot of people already know this boss here. I try to keep these two together all the time. If I can, if I'm feeling frisky, I'll definitely dodge this right here, the overhead. Just a quick side step into them to the left or right. Again, I try to keep these guys together, so whenever I see a good opportunity like that was not, I got hit. I steed to the other one. Other than that, you're just basically watching out for the black balls. See, I dodged the overhead there. That's a good. But this fight's pretty simple. Rinse, repeat. Goes in the air, comes down. I keep it the same. After this first boss, I always go left first. Sometimes I'll pull both these packs back, depending on the week, but always a safe bet. Just pull this pack here left, interrupt, use your stuns, keep them in front, blind and light when you can. Basically just interrupt. You're always interrupting as a paladin, even as a non-paladin. If you get your interrupt as a tank, you're using it. So like I said before, that first pull that I just did, sometimes I grab this pull right here to the right with it and LOS it. But if you don't feel comfortable, just do it in 2 pulls like I did. Some reason they got a little bugged out here, so I went back out, grabbed all 3. LOS. The goal here is to get them all close. Keep your righteous shield up. Wait till they're all close. Run through them, because you want to stay in melee range. When they're close like this, they won't throw spears at anyone in the party, as long as the tank's in melee range. So the goal is to keep them close, so when they jump back, they jump back into the side of the stairs, and they're not throwing spears. So here we go back to the right now. We're gonna grab both stealth packs. Most of the time I grab this Praetor too next to the flight guy, but for some reason I didn't pull it here. It also depends on who's in our run when we're doing carries. Sorry for the bits. This is the middle of a 17 carry right now on stream, so we're carrying a Shadow Priest that I want to say is 220 item level, and it's 17. We do it every single day, 15 to 20. So if you want someone to run with you, or you need help getting your KSM, come check out the stream. I'll put a link down below, and I'll also put somewhere here with a link where you can see it. But come say hi, come hang out. We'll help you. So depending on who's in my group, I'll take this 3-pack sometimes, and I'll bring it into the next one with the 2 Goliaths. But since we're doing a carry here, keep it simple, keep it easy. I like to make sure that we stay stacked on the Praetor so it doesn't jump around. But I got lucky, it jumped back to me. So as long as I keep them all together, I feel like I'm doing my job as a tank. Easy. While I'm doing that last pull, I normally will figure out the kick order for this pull. But if you have a shaman, he can handle 1. And if you don't have a shaman, you just got to make sure you're breaking down all your kicks. Normally I'll get 1 with another person, and I'll have 2 DPS get the other 2. But we got a shaman, so he's making sure he gets the 1 every single time. And we alternate the other ones. We stack them up on the Praetor so he doesn't jump around. We stack as a team. Nice and easy. This next pull, pretty simple. Make sure you interrupt things. Make sure you kick things. Interrupt and kick are the same thing. I know, I get it. It's early when I'm recording this. But make sure you're stunning, throwing hammers, blinding light, war stomp, because this pull can actually get pretty out of hand for the tank, especially if stuff's not kicked. I've been deleted here a couple times. Alright, this pull here, my main thing is make sure they stay together, and I don't want the 1 to disengage away from the other 3, so I want to cleave them down real quick. Sorry again, someone used channel points here, so you guys are seeing a channel point reward. But, oh, I almost die, but pop a big coolie, no problem. Interrupt what you can, CC, and I say CC while we're doing the pulls, because you're going to hammer. You can do lots of things to stop cast with CC. Now this next pull, I like to do it as a double, but if you don't, you pull the 1 down where you just fought the last pack, and then you fight the next pack right here. But I do this pull together most of the time in my carries. I'll use the Kyrian Spear here to make sure everything's done, but no matter what, I'm making sure the Goliath is taken care of, because that will wipe you. If you got a shaman, you make sure he gets every single one, and the rest of the team can interrupt other stuff, and the whole pull becomes a lot easier because everything's getting interrupted, getting melted, no worries. This pool here, we're going to kill Skull because he gives a guy a buff. He actually buffs everyone around him. But keep him close. Remember, if you stack on the Praetor, but you want to wait because once this guy does his dash at the ground, he does a frontal cone. Boom, does a frontal. Now we get on the Praetor so he doesn't jump around. Stun him. But Skull's our focus target here. Now here, depending on who I have in the group, I'll CC some stuff. Since we have an undergeared guy that won the carry, we're gonna CC 2, but I'm pretty sure this pool goes bad anyways. I'm pretty sure I lose my buddy to the frontal clone on Skull because I was too worried about pulling the CC targets with Divine Toll and wasn't really paying attention to Skull because Skull just flew back behind me. There's his frontal lash right there. It hit me, so I actually have no idea how my buddy just died. They're just watching this now. But again, make sure you interrupt what you can. Skull's the top priority because he's making it where everyone's taking less damage. All the mobs are. Another thing that I forgot to say too, hunters, shamans, anyone that can get buffs off enemy targets, the Inquisitor needs to be purged, trank shot, whatever you can, or he will crush people. But we ended up messing up this pull. I stayed alive as long as I could. I think we get Skull down. Maybe we don't. But you see the Inquisitor right there? He has that buff. The longer that buff's on him, the more damage he does to everybody. But if you dispel it, he'll drop a weapon, pick up the weapon, and you can hurt some people. I think we actually die here, but things happen. One wipe isn't gonna make or break. Well, it can, but I think we're fine here. Kill Skull at least, but if not, we come back and do it again. See, we waste a lot of time too here. I don't even know what was going on here, but this can happen. I grab Skull again. Everything gets broken here. So now it's go time. See, normally I would like to keep the spear just for this pull because this pull can really, really suck. But I'm actually getting destroyed. Keep everything in front of me. He died again. I don't remember what was going on this run, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I've lost Shret. On the far left guy. I don't even know how we pulled everything with the ads, but I got big cooldowns going. I shouldn't die. I'm eating frontals like it's my job, but you push on sometimes. This isn't the cleanest pull, but we're gonna keep it raw, dude. We're gonna keep it raw in the video. If you're here this long and you see this fail pull, let me know down below in the comments that I seen the wipe. Just say I seen the wipe. I just want to see if anyone says it. But you kill this, easy. Push on. All right, this boss right here, pretty simple. I don't do the Tormentor. It all depends on the week, but most of the time I've actually been skipping him. I do both of them with the last boss. But here we wait for the jump back. My goal is to keep him as tight as I can. So I find where the black balls are shooting out. I dodge the frontal. My goal is to keep this guy right on the black swirlies, just because I want to keep him tight. I got too close, got bumped up in the air. But he's gonna jump away. I'm gonna run to that side because I want to keep the team far away from those two circles over there, so they have time to dodge the balls. That's all I'm trying to do, is keep those balls all from coming from the same spot as best I can. And it's pretty easy. They could have been a little tighter, but it works. this next pull here, either I'll pull this guy with the Tormentor, or I pull them one at a time. Again, this one just depends on the week. 4 to 5 week, I try to avoid it, just because I know this guy can be a pain to heal, because I normally am a main healer. But this pull is pretty simple. Tank and spank. So for this Tormentor here, right, you stack up. Right here comes the fear. Your fear goes out. Now you spread out, because anyone in that red circle is going to get the bleed debuff. After that's gone, stack back up. Super easy. If you got 2 range, they can stack on the outside, because you just need to be stacked with one other person. So as long as you're stacked, you'll be fine. You won't get feared. But if you're the only range, just make sure you get in melee. Then spread. So after that Tormentor, mount up. Always mount up, because if you're carrying and you got Ron out, that big dude, he'll just pull everything. But jump up here to the right. If you have an invis pot, this is where you're going to use it. If you have someone that can CC that right ad, you can jump up right there. If not, you're just going to use an invis pot and jump up right where I just did. After that, you're going to skip this Tormentor, because this last boss doesn't do much physical damage anyways, unless you get hit by the frontal. So we're going to body pull all these guys, LOS them around the corner. I said corner. Just bring them in, kill them. And then I rinse, repeat, do the other side, and then I pull boss. Right here, this one I pull it all. I always pull it the same every week. I pull it to me, I run through it, just keep the back to the team. I always let everyone know when we stack for the blue arrows, when we run to drop them, I'm always gonna go left. I figured out myself to get rid of that slow. So I'm gonna go left, the team's gonna go right, just so they know where I'm going. I let them know. And rinse, repeat. This boss is pretty simple, especially for a paladin. If you don't have a paladin to soak, tanks can just use big cooldown, soak the balls. I haven't been using a DPS soak them with a turtle, or a ret with bubble, or shadow priest with dispersion. I've always just had the tank do it. But drop them tight. Make sure you. The biggest thing too is if you're gonna say you're gonna go left as a tank, you go left every single time. But now damage phase, I run in. I soak like 5, 6, and then I bubble. But if I didn't have bubble, I would soak them all and then pop a big defensive cooldown. Super easy. Yeah. But rinse, repeat. That's the fight. I always pull the middle guy first, and I point him out because he does a frontal. Frontal that splits off into 3 different ways. Right here it is. Boom. Sidestep it. Done. Easy. This one's super easy. Now the next one, since you killed the first one, he's going to gain his abilities and has his own ability. He throws these spears off. See the spear out there to the right? Now you can gauge where the 4 spots are going to be. It's always the tip and then the other corner. See how it came out that tip right there? That's how I always gauge these. So you see where the spear goes. I look for where the tip is facing. See how it has an angle, downward angle to the... And I kind of use that to gauge my safe spots. Super easy as long as you can kind of see how the spears are. Once you figure out the spears and the way they shoot, these pulls become drastically easier. This next angel can be a pain depending on the week. So I always use the spear on him right away. Blow him up. If it's fortified, I lost this guy. And if it's not fortified, depending on who's in the group and how big of a carrier we're doing, I'll lust it too. But again, the spear comes down. I always try to look at the spear where it lands, where they're going to shoot out. And I dodge the frontal, or the smash here, and the frontal. And I see where they are, and I move. Remember, you had the whole platform to move. So I look for the spear again. I see where it's going. You can see at the top left of my screen. I look at the frontal. I know the safe spot already. And that's all I'm doing is dancing, right? If this guy had more health, I would have pulled him across, but we're fine here. So for this one, I always make sure I'm the guy shooting, but since we skipped 2 tormentors, we're slowed, and we're taking 50% more physical damage. So this charge, if you get hit by it, will kill you. But I try to keep it right here in the center, so when you dodge right here, if everyone's in the right spot, it dodges, and she only goes like 4 feet, and you're safe. So as long as you're dodging this boss, it's really easy. I know it looks pretty bad with the slow, but when she goes up in the air, the slow is gone. And I don't recommend skipping both tormentors unless you're pushing the higher keys, like the 19s, the 20s. But if you're going for KSM, I would just kill him. You should have plenty of time to get both of them. I can make another video how I pulled the one tormentor that we skipped right before this boss. Basically, you can just have a tank go in to the side of it, taunt it, and just backpedal them back without pulling any of the trash. But here, same thing. We're just dodging. We're slow. She's going to jump away. When she jumps away, we will be done being slowed, which will be nice, so we can move normal speed. Bring all the balls in. You need all 5 to activate the spear. The spear's in. I'm already looking at the boss to see if she moves. She moved right away, so I already know I can shoot. I shoot. If I don't notice her move, I just hold the spear. But rinse, repeat this whole fight. The fight never changes. That's it. Again, hopefully you guys like these Dungeons for Dummies. And if you made it this far into the video, I'm actually impressed. And yeah, I appreciate you. If you guys need help with KSM, again, come check out the stream. Twitch.tv Minnesota with 2 A's. I appreciate you, and see you in the next one.